Hey everybody, welcome to MotoVlog number 2. Riding the 1973 CB350 to work this morning. It's pretty chilly. It's about 46 degrees Fahrenheit here in East Tennessee. We're kind of at the tail end of winter, sort of beginning of spring. Weather here is really unusual because, you know, it can be freezing in the morning, 72 degrees in the afternoon, so you never really know what to expect. So even after you check out the forecast, I don't think anybody really understands what the weather's going to do. They try their best, but they seemingly get it wrong more times than not. So I'm riding to work this morning on the bike. Weather's going to be nice. I think we're going to have an approximate high of around 70 degrees today. So, you know, why not? Gas prices are just insane here. Well, they're pretty high to me. I think it's $4.09 a gallon for regular here in East Tennessee. I know, you know, some of you folks in California, other parts of the world, that's extremely cheap. And, you know, I appreciate the fact that it's not worse, but it is definitely, you know, on the unusual side. So saving a little bit of gas, taking the bike. Hopefully nobody takes me out this morning going to work. My favorite part about this commute is the fact that I don't have to go over about 35 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour on this commute, which, you know, if you're riding a 50-year-old 325cc twin Honda, is great. Don't want to have to get on the highway and do any sort of highway speeds. Not to mention, the clutch in this thing is currently slipping a little bit. So I'm waiting for a clutch rebuild kit to come in stock. It's a very obscure old part, you know, for a very small old motorcycle, so they're kind of hard to get, but there's one supplier that I have been able to locate the clutch rebuild kit at, and they're just out of stock right now. So when they're going to get it in stock, I don't know. So this thing does slip in the mornings when it's cold. I'm going up hills. It will, you know, I'll give it throttle, the RPMs go up, I don't seem to really go anywhere, and then it kind of, you know, it engages the clutch and lurches forward a little bit, which is a little sketch, but, you know, we'll make do. I'm saving enough in fuel to deal with the sketchiness of having a clutch that doesn't work. So anyway, hope everybody out there is having a good 2022 so far. You know, any projects you got coming up you might be working on, whether it's a new motorcycle purchase or, you know, a build you're doing. You know, hope you can get it figured out, get it worked on, get it completed before the riding season, at least here in North America, so you can get your get it out, show it off, and more than likely save on your fuel expense from whatever, you know, four-wheel automobile you usually drive. So if where you live is anything like where I live, no one, and I mean absolutely no one, likes to stop at four-way stops. This stop sign, is this guy gonna stop? Yeah, he's gonna stop. So a lot of times people just don't stop, especially for motorcyclists. So usually, you know, I'm the last one to go through a red light. I'm sure you can relate to that. You know, people are just impatient in the mornings. They don't pay attention to what they're doing. They're checking Facebook, checking Instagram, checking whatever's on their phone, sending emails. People send emails, put on makeup. Some of the stuff I've seen coming to work, just nothing ever really surprises me anymore with some of the drivers on the road. which is really unfortunate. Hopefully if gas prices continue to go up, people, will be driving less, or more people will get motorcycles and then have to pay attention to what they're doing. I'm not going to really hold my breath for that. And even then, I think a lot of people even riding motorcycles wouldn't pay attention to what they're doing on the road, and would, be a hazard to everyone else paying attention. But in the spirit of keeping it positive, what is everybody working on out there? Like what are people doing? Where, are motorcycles even in stock where you live? Most of the showrooms around here, there are no new motorcycles in stock. Like you can't even get one, even if you've got cash ready to buy one. Super limited stock. I don't even know how many people I've had approach me and ask me like, hey man, would you sell me your motorcycle? And which, I'm definitely not right now anyways. And so, I've had a lot of people approach me and ask me to buy my motorcycle. And it's like, I don't know. I've never approached anyone and asked to buy their motorcycle, but, I guess people are desperate. They need something. So I guess especially, older ones are much easier to work on, even though, you got the whole thing with the carbs. People seem to want old things nowadays anyway, which I can appreciate, riding a few different old motorcycles, can definitely appreciate that. But yeah, I'm assuming everyone else out there, you're dealing with the same issues, no stock on any motorcycles. Maybe parts are hard to obtain. I've had some really, really good luck in sourcing old parts for my old Hondas and even my old Suzuki that I'm working on. I try to avoid eBay. I know everybody uses eBay. We've all been there. I've used it. I've gotten burned on a couple things, so I try not to use eBay. But if anyone is wondering where I get some of my parts, drop a line. I'll do my best to answer for sure, but I've got a couple really solid retail spots, suppliers if you will, that I go to get my parts from. And if I have a really difficult time, I've got a guy who owns a motorcycle shop who can try to obtain some stuff, but again, some of these parts are more obscure. They don't make them anymore. You may have to go the used route and hop on eBay and buy a used part. Not that used parts are bad, or anything like that. So I'm coming up here, getting a little bit closer to work. I work in an urban area, a downtown area of the town that I live in. So there's the Tennessee River. The Gay Street Bridge is right there. Really old, beautiful historic bridge, super old. We're gonna cross the Tennessee River here to go across Gay Street. So this is the Gay Street Bridge again. So we're gonna drive through it. See a few people out. Not a lot of traffic out this morning. It's about 8:30 a.m. in the morning here where I'm at, so very limited traffic. And it's just a really beautiful drive into work. I'm pretty spoiled as far as my drive into work. I know a lot of people who commute are going down interstates and freeways and pretty treacherous riding in the morning with heavy traffic, and I'm just not in the same boat. So super pretty down here, some really old historic buildings. I believe that's the courthouse here to my immediate left. Got a bank building here. Only thing I really hate about driving down this road is there's so many red lights, and I seemingly hit every single red light anytime I drive through here, which I just sound kind of like I'm complaining, which but I mean, come on, if you're on a motorcycle, you don't want to be sitting in a red light. You don't want to stop and go and stop and go. But if you hit one, you're gonna hit a lot of them. So we're inching closer and closer. Got to be definitely aware here in this type of street setting. People will walk out in front of you. They'll notice you're coming. They'll walk out in front of you anyway, and then they'll proceed to, you know, look at you, yell at you, whatever, like it's your fault, you almost ran them over, which is always, you know, always a nice thing to deal with at 8:30 in the morning. But not a lot of people out right now, so we're gonna see if we can definitely avoid, you know, running anyone over. So I know it's, you know, I've sort of been missing the last few months. You know, during the winter months here, I don't really ride at all. It's not, you know, motorcycles aren't my primary mode of transportation, so I don't really have to ride every single day. But I do plan on uploading a few things here in the coming weeks and try to become a little bit more regular at it. There are some projects that a friend of mine is working on that I'm going to try to become involved with a little bit, with some really cool old motorcycles. He's more or less planning on flipping some motorcycles from the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, twins, two strokes, single thumpers, all sorts of different things. I'm going to be also going to a motorcycle show here pretty soon, up in the mountains. It's a vintage motorcycle show. A lot of the old timers are going to be, that guy doesn't give the turn signal. Nice. Going to be a lot of guys up there, old timers, with their motorcycles that they trailer in. A lot of them don't ride them anymore because they're just, you know, they're too old. Everybody knows an old timer who's got lots of cool old bikes but doesn't ride them anymore because, you know, they just can't. So they're going to trailer those up there, and we're going to check that out. I hope to talk to some people who, you know, own the bikes, see some different unique things I haven't seen before, especially post sort of COVID. I think there's going to be a lot of motorcycles there that you know weren't there last year or the year before because they just didn't do it. So I usually try to go do a couple different motorcycle shows. So try to share that with you guys as well. But I'm almost here to work here. This is the little block that I work on. So yeah, I'll hop off here. We got to park. I'm going to park, throw it up right on the sidewalk because if you're on a motorcycle, right, you park on the sidewalk. So appreciate everyone joining me on my little ride to work. And, you know, we'll catch you guys on the next one.